and welcome to The Talk. I am Danish Manzoor, and as promised, we are here with yet another episode. Today's episode is very important, especially given the fact that coronavirus, the pandemic, has brought the entire world to its knees. Not a single country in the world which is not suffering. And today we come to you from the city of Bengaluru here in India. And we are in conversation with the City Police Commissioner. Given the fact that the City Police has had a very major role to play in management of the coronavirus pandemic, the City Police of Bengaluru, just like other city polices in other parts of the country, they have been at the forefront of it. So usually, the role which army plays during natural calamities, the police has had to do this at very short notice. I have with me Mr. Bhaskar Rao, Commissioner of Police for Bengaluru City. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks Danish.
So, the COVID response has been very intense for everybody, be it the police force, be it the municipality, be it the frontline healthcare workers. But police force also became the face of it when it came to enforcement. So, what were the major challenges that you faced as the chief of a city which is now nationally recognized to have managed it in the most, better way than most were able to do it, let's put it that way. So what was the challenge that you faced in this?
Our biggest challenge was to maintain a balance between successful lockdown as well as allowing people to perform essential duties. And this is a city with a population of 1.5 crores, or what do you say, about 15 million?
15 million. Yeah.
15 million population. And maintaining essential supplies was a challenge so that people get their vegetables, fruit, meat, provisions and daily requirements without being hassled, as well as a lockdown is maintained. And the city is spread over 1,000 square kilometers and about 111 police stations cater to this population.
Right.
So enforcing anything is an unpleasant task. Lockdown means stay indoors. So making people stay indoors, persuading them, cajoling them, and also attending to their emergencies. People have medical needs. They need to go for cardiac checkup. They need to go for dialysis, their physiotherapy, as well as radiotherapy, that's chemotherapy, etc. So all these have to be carried out. And in the absence of anything that is moving, the role came upon our head, and we had no alternative but to be a friendly police. Any amount of discussion earlier on community policing and friendly policing just confined itself to experiments. But this was the truth, and this was the hard truth. We had to be a friendly police.
A practical experience.
Practicing friendly police. So our first fortnight of policing was done without lathis. You would have seen in a lot of places, people were being beaten away, chased away, and a lot of people got beat. So we did an experiment without lathis, and believe me, people are good. People who supported, people cooperated, and it came out quite well.
Right.
So first take is the balance between lockdown and essential supplies, and addressing people's need and being people-friendly police for the biggest issues,
challenges that you had. So now, it isn't a very easy thing. It's, as I say, it's easier said than done. So what was the thought process?
See, it is very easy. Yes, you are absolutely right. See, the mindset of the police is to be harsh. Nobody would like to have a pleasant visit to the police station unless and until they are. But believe me, I found that the attitude of a policeman on the grassroots level changes very rapidly if you start empowering him. The moment you disempower him, or rather leave him clueless, he starts becoming barbaric, both in his actions as well as in his talk.
So, clear communication to the...
Clear communication and empowerment. I am very fond of saying one thing that I tell a police constable, when you are faced with a crowd, You are the police commissioner there. Nobody knows who I am. They see you. So you take a decision based only on common sense, in public interest, without harming anyone. The best way to come out of a situation. Don't compromise on your esteem or the esteem of the department, but also ensure that people are helped. So that helped to a large extent. Each of my 21,000 police constables have given their best. My sub-inspectors, my inspectors, my assistant commissioners, my deputy commissioners have shown extraordinary leadership throughout the pandemic.
You've had a very interesting tenure since you've come in as the police chief of the city, be it Article 370, the Citizenship Amendment Act, the New Year's Eve. So basically it was challenge after another. So you clearly told us how you managed the grassroots level force with clear messaging and clear directives. How do you handle this kind of a pressure when you have back-to-back things happening, law and order situations, possibly which could snowball into something bigger, and now the pandemic?
Danish, sometimes it is not just back-to-back. Things are happening parallelly also. Lot of problems are going side by side. And the assembly session and elections were also there, rallies and 2 swearing-in ceremonies we had.
Yeah.
All those things we have to deal with. So the only way I deal with is that my governance should be least. I should give the agenda to the...
So decentralization.
Decentralize but not abdicate. Not abdicate. But an eye is always there. But I don't try to micromanage. They are quite smart. My people down the line, my deputy commissioners are very... Because my cutting edge officers are my deputy commissioners of police. I have about 21 deputy commissioners. About 8 of them in zones and 3 in traffic. And I have 5 in my office. And then I have 4 battalions of the armed police. So they know their job quite well. They are quite experienced also. And they are also very well trained. So once the message goes that this is what I want, then it percolates all the way down that this needs to be done. So we have been a very good team. All of us have our heads together. There has been no blame game. Some problems do take place here and there, but we ensure that that problem is localized. So
right.
That way, the way my officers have empowered people down the line has been very, very rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. And as of now, it has yielded very, very positive results too.
And that's quite interesting to hear. Now, migrant crisis across the nation, it's not just one state or one city. Across the nation has been really a huge challenge for police force and the administration. So what was the thought process within your office at the time when the crisis emerged, when we saw what happened in Mumbai? So what was the immediate thought process on how to contain that and how to ensure that a friendly human touch is offered through the police?
See, these are abnormal times in which we are living. So nothing I can say is not, everything is my problem now. So if anything goes out of hand, finally it becomes my problem, a law and order problem. When I saw migrants' problem in other big metros, I mustered my deputy commissioners and then we put our heads together and we started enlisting the places where migrants stay. This city has a lot of migrants from various parts of the country, more so from the northeastern part of this country as well as the northern part of the country. And they are in huge numbers, building mighty apartments, building the rail metro.
The city we live in, basically.
Yeah, the rail metro and the construction of roads, apartments, etc., etc. So the population, as I already told you, is about 15 million. I almost about 4 million migrants must be staying here. 4 to 5 million migrants are staying over here. So what we did was, every deputy commissioner mapped out how many migrants he has in his or her jurisdiction. So at least we had some number in mind, and we found out where they are staying. So further level of drill down, and we had an officer who used to go and visit them at least once a day to find out how they are. Are they getting some food? Are they getting water and other medicines, etc., or are they infected? So there already was a state set for communication. So from the 4th of May, when the Government of India allowed the operation of special trains to transport these migrants, our job became a little easy because no other department in the government can take this huge responsibility. Each of my deputy commissioners were made in charge of a train. They were the ones who took out these people because a lot of agitation that I want to go home. And we internally within the government, outside the government, in civil society, whether we should let the migrants go or ask them to stay back over there. Then we realized it is not an economic issue, it's an emotional issue. So, okay, let them go. We will facilitate them as much as possible. So, we had very good rapport with the Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation, which is a road transport corporation, and with the civic authorities, which is also called Brihat Bangalore Mahanagar Palike, BBMP, and the Bangalore City Police and the railways. So, we identified, and a lot of course, we too had some disgruntlement of people spilling onto the streets and coming. So we wanted to nip it in the bud. So it was a very systematic operation of each train being in charge of one deputy commissioner. That deputy commissioner would enroll all these persons. We used to pick them up by our government buses from the labour camps, maintaining social distance. Take them to railway stations on the outskirts of the city, because if you do it inside the city, there is a lot of chaos could be anticipated because everybody was anxious to go home for them. So undisclosed railway stations, and railways were very, very supportive, and from there the trains. Till today, 138 trains have gone, and 175,000 people have been sent by 38 trains till now.
Right. I think that's quite interesting. So we'll just remind the viewers who have just joined in that we are in conversation with the Bengaluru City Police Chief, Mr. Bhaskar Rao. And till now we were discussing a bit about what we could safely call as the Bengaluru City Police model of how the lockdown was managed in this city, perhaps a model for other city polices to emulate in the rest of the country. So now moving on to another vital issue. We have also seen that since the police was helping and was at the forefront of enforcing the lockdown, of ensuring that the migrants had a safe passage in a very ruly manner. But at the same time, another big issue is that dealing with your officers and your field level staff yourself, how do you ensure their safety in these trying times?
See, we have been through the lockdown for almost
2 months.
Little over 2 months. I would say about 2 months and 10 days. 2 months and 10 days, I think. From the 10th of March onwards, we got to know that this is going to be something much bigger. When handshakes stopped, so we thought, okay, this is going to become much bigger than this. And we really saw something kind of a tsunami coming over. So it all started then. Hand wash with hot water and soap and hand wash in all the police station. Then immediately within 3-4 days, sanitizers started coming. Then a week later, masks. Then about 10 days later, face shield. Then came gloves. Then, of course, social distancing was all a part of it. So one after the other, precautions were being taken. And we had set it up among ourselves that none of our boys should be or girls should be infected over there. Right. Though there were some instances where we had to go inside containment areas or what you call an infected area, and we wore personal protection equipment, which we procured. It is not medical grade, but definitely to keep us safe in case it is possible over there. So all along the idea was to ensure that none of these boys and girls get infected, because if 1, 2, 3 start collapsing, it becomes a huge blow to morale, and others start getting panicky. And in fact, I already had to deal with this problem psychologically. My Deputy Commissioner of Police, Isha Pant, she organized a program in association with the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences and Rajiv Gandhi Medical University for an online counseling of confidence building, which was attended by almost 8,000 to 9,000 police personnel from wherever they were.
During the lockdown?
What?
This was
during the lockdown. It was a entirely online class or an online awareness of don't panic, because all these people my boys and girls, they have a home and a family. So the home and family used to pressurize, why do you want to go? Avail leave. Are you the only one to go? But I must say, there are so many people. I would even venture to say that a lot of my women police constables and officers who are even pregnant, they chose to come and work.
That's some amazing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Though we had a policy of not more than 55 years, people, personnel should work. But they also work, but only after 2 months, I have only one case as of now. Very unfortunate. Only one person turned positive. Others in between, whenever they came in touch, we had quarantined them. Till date, we had quarantined almost close to 200 people. 200 people we have quarantined. So, again, we have quarantined some people. But this has been the achievement of Bangalore City Police, subordinate officers, to ensure that the men whom they command have been taken very good care of.
Right. Now, talking about, I just heard that there are about 1,000 calls being made every day from the city police to the citizens of Bengaluru. What is that all about, and where is the connection between the city police and the citizens of the city? Where does that stand at this point?
This is one more project which is being carried out by my DCP Shapan. See, this is aimed basically for confidence building. We have a call center which receives a lot of calls over there, so we wanted to put them to good use. So the young DCP, she trained these people, these call center employees, in making calls, in making sort of cold calls to the database that we have, just to inquire that the Commissioner of Police desires to know whether you have any problems, are you experiencing any inconvenience, or is there anything we can do? If there is a problem, please call us at 100, dial 100, we'll be there with you. Because as it is, our track record is that whosoever calls us, we are at their doorstep or wherever you are within 9 minutes. So this is basically to build confidence and make them closer to the police, and the fear of police should. Some of them were very pleasantly surprised. Some of them didn't believe also.
Police was calling us.
Some of them thought somebody is playing a prank on them.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, it has worked.
The chain has to begin somewhere.
It has worked in a favor. See, when a private company can call people and say, how is my product working? I run such a huge security, I run the entire, it's a monopoly service that I run the security establishment to the entire city. I am duty bound to find out the welfare of our people.
Right. Now, sir, moving on to the crime rates in the city. You have been observing it pre-COVID and post-COVID. It's anybody's guess that post-COVID it would go down, right? So we would ask you to give us some insight into pre and post-COVID, being the City Police Commissioner, the difference that you saw. And then my supplementary question to this would be, how are we plan to tackle once we come out of it? A lot of joblessness in the country. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So crime rate is bound to increase. Burglaries might increase. A lot of people are saying. So is there a proactive plan to handle that? So these two questions.
I am preparing my officers to handle an era in which crimes are going to increase. New innocent criminals will be entering the arena of crime. It could be snatching of purses to cheating people online, or even bodily injury also there. So mentally preparing them for handling disturbed minds, loss of job, loss of income, loss of confidence, and then anxiety, domestic violence, and increase in cyber crimes. So this is what we anticipate for some more time, because with such drastic losses of jobs, people need income, they need money to eat, they need money to live. So not everyone, but quite a good number of them are likely to take to crime. So what kind of preventive action needs to be taken, how we need to react,
right,
and also in a post-COVID atmosphere, how we need to keep ourselves safe also is important, because the way airports have changed their outlook, the way hospitals have changed. Similarly, police station is also a high density, people-oriented place. So there also I need to take a lot of precautions. So taking precautions as well as dealing with criminals, as well as prevention of crimes will be a huge challenge in days to come.
There must be hundreds of experiences where you saw that your people went over and above the call of duty and did something very interesting. Hundreds of them. But is it possible for you to at least list out a few which were very close to you, despite all of them being, but a few which could be seen as an example of their courage?
See, all of them are like my children, and all of them have done extraordinarily well. But if you ask me to specify, very difficult to specify, but everybody has worked beyond their working hours. So that itself is someone who is not directly related to COVID and is working in a control room also has worked extra hard because somebody else is working hard, so for his sake he has to be there. Right. And there have been several instances where people have put themselves in a lot of physical danger. Like one boy took a two-wheeler and all the way drove about 400 kilometers to deliver a cancer drug to somebody. So these are things, and that too, between I had just taken a day's leave to go there and come back over there. And there was a lady police constable who paid money for a migrant to go home because the migrant wanted to go home and he didn't have any money. So whatever money she had in her pocket, she paid his fare and said, "Okay, you go home. That will what bring." So these are some things which brought to my life. But there are so many things that did not come to my notice. But what I found is that those persons who were supposed to be sort of inconsequential in my system of things turned out to be extraordinary leaders.
That's quite interesting.
Means like a constable or head constable said, if not this, the other will try to do it. But no, that guy who is a nameless, a faceless constable, he showed his leadership qualities.
So answered the call of duty and went over and beyond.
See, if he has helped one migrant family to board a train, I think its life's mission is done. He has loaded somebody with happiness so that that person can go home securely. And his one action, which may not even have come to my notice, has put Bangalore City Police many notches up. I wouldn't even have known. But today, as you say good words about the Bangalore City Police, it is not me sitting in this air-conditioned room is doing. It is all these boys and girls who are out there in the field, under the sun, helping out somebody, either giving them water or showing a direction to them or helping them to board a train or giving them some food from the Labour Department so that their level of confidence is maintained. They are all skilled, semi-skilled workers who come from different parts of the city. But they are all now in an emotional turmoil. So if my constable has been able to reduce one person's emotional turmoil also, a huge thing has been accomplished.
That's correct, sir. Now, sir, moving on to one episode which was in the news nationally and perhaps even got international headline, the Padarayanpura incident.
Yeah.
How exactly did you crack it and what was the challenges you guys faced in trying to deal with that and then finding the people who were involved and putting them behind bars?
See, I would call it a very, very big issue. So there was the containment area, and there is some difference of opinion about people being shifted out for being quarantined over there. A group of people wanted to go somewhere, other group of people wanted to go elsewhere. Some anti-social elements owing to two different groups. They incited some people to participate in some violence, but the violence was very quickly quelled and overnight about 70 perpetrators were brought to book and the following day another 100 were brought to book over them. So that was dealt with very promptly by officers and quickly contained.
Right. Now, two of the controversies that you have been, part either the face of it or involved in directly or indirectly.
We all are. See, we do something and we get into trouble over there. If we just keep quiet, we never get into trouble.
So, corruption allegations against you, and then a lot of people within the department. What's your take on that? I'll just put it simply.
See, in these moments, what kind of allegations can they make? If you don't find anything, you make blank allegations about, okay, you work. Substantiate it. If you have any material, let it be placed. Let an investigation take place. Fair investigation take place instead of making allegations.
So you're open to any scrutiny?
I am absolutely open to any kind of scrutiny.
Right. So what about within the department? What's going on at this point in time? We saw a couple of your officers were caught in one of the bribery things.
See, this is a huge system.
Right.
all kinds of people work under me. I wouldn't say that everybody has to share the same ethos of ethics over there. People come here for different reasons. By and large, if I'm able to maintain some sense of administrative decency, it's fine. But if somebody chooses to tread a wrong path and it has come to my notice, I have two options. Either to hear it and put it below the carpet, or to bring it to light. Both actions of mine will be watched. If I put it below, more people will do it. If I bring it to light, there will be some disturbance in civil society, but definitely others will hesitate to do it once again. So I chose the second path. People would have said that, okay, we are sitting on a very corrupt or very mismanaged system over there. We chose to highlight the wrong deeds and brought them to book. We didn't want to push it down below the carpet over there. So for that we have to pay a price, because not everybody would be reading the newspapers in fine print. So we chose to bring our own people. So unless and until I clean the department myself, I am the first janitor of the department. If I don't clean, nobody is going to come and clean the department over there. So it was our call to ensure that those persons who had done wrong deeds are brought to book, and we did it.
The other thing, which was rather inconsequential, I will call it, and very unfortunate that I would call it, was bringing in religion into the entire equation with respect to you, that you have converted to Christianity. You look at social media, there are so many people posting about this. So even I am surprised at times that this should not be a thing that we should be talking about in a pandemic at this point of time. What's your response to that?
See, I am the Commissioner of Police of a huge city. It is my duty to meet religious leaders of all communities and build confidence in them. Some come here, I go some elsewhere, and we work with people. And these religious leaders' words have a lot of weight behind them, because a lot of people look up to them as very tall leaders, and community leaders are there. And during these times when of uncertainty, even the most rational people look up to what the community has to say, because nobody would like to desert the community. So, and other thing is that about maintaining social distance. I have gone to all places. I have not only been to a church, I have been to a temple, I have been to a mosque. In fact, been to a mosque more number of times. 2-3 different Hindu temples. I have gone to, I visited Jain community persons. I have visited the Gurudwara and participated in activities with the Sikhs and the Sikh leaders over there. I visited a Buddhist leader also. So, the Commissioner of Police should be able to meet as many people as possible, because I am the one who is supposed to give some kind of a confidence on behalf of the entire law enforcement authority to that religion or to that religious group or so. So they feel, okay, the Commissioner visited us and he spoke to us and inquired with us over there. If some people choose to do it, it is up to them. I don't have anything adverse. But as a Commissioner of Police, it is my duty to speak to each and every person.
So all communities, yes, all religions.
And my spectrum of duty as Commissioner of Police, right from an unclaimed dead body to the Prime Minister of India, I serve.
That
is my spectrum of, I can't say that this is not my job. Everything is my job over there. My police constable and I, we are visible government. We are visible government. If you want to say where is the government, look at me. This is the government over there. Because I represent government on the streets over there. If people are happy, with the government, they appreciate it. People are unhappy with the government, they throw stones at us. They burn public property. It is my duty to move. So unless and until I take people into confidence of all kinds over there, because I am the one who represents government on the streets.
The face of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, with one of the gang leaders, the local gang leaders recently having passed away, the Bangalore gang scene at this point of time seems completely headless, and a lot of people trying to become the gang chief. So what is your take? What is the police doing at this point of time to contain the local gangs at this point of time?
Whoever has passed away, nobody can say that X, Y or Z was the king of the
underworld or so. Yeah.
See, underworld is an underbelly.
Yeah.
See, a system has its own advantages and disadvantages over there. So when there is filth, squalor in our own minds as individuals. There is a lot of unwanted things in our mind, unwanted things on our body also over there. Similarly, every system, every city also has a lot of unwanted and unrequired things. So in this unwanted, unrequired things, it is dirt. In dirt, what is it that grows? Bacteria, virus, and undesirable characters grow there. So I don't see any reason in glorifying the actions of such persons over there. As long as dirt and squalor of the system continue, such people who want to perpetuate it and carry out an extra constitutional system will continue. Only when we can, if we cleanse the system, such people will have no rule.
So you are keeping a watch on them, basically.
And our duty is to keep a watch on that.
Right. So now, sir, our second last question, which is about the people-friendly police stations. Everybody has been asking for them. It's a huge task across India, needs to be done. But since you, at this point of time, seen as a people-friendly police commissioner by the people of the city, and it's not me saying it, it's all over social media, it's people that we meet regularly, everybody says that. It is a compliment for you, but at the same time, a great responsibility as well.
It's a huge responsibility.
So how do you play a part in trying to ensure that your grassroots level police stations and your beat constables are people-friendly in the days to come? See, not just cosmetic.
This is a huge attitudinal change that we need to bring amongst ourselves. We have always been labelled as very, very rude, intemperate, unpredictable, bad mouth, and
n number of
things. So, whenever I visit police stations, I make it a point to address I call all of them, come and stand here. Have you ever been to a police station before you joined the service? Half of them say, no, we have never been to a police station. Is there any likelihood that you are going to come to a police station after you leave the streets? How do you like to be treated? See, anybody comes to a police station doesn't come running to
It's not a restaurant, it's not a hotel.
It's not a restaurant, it's not a mall, not a place of living. How many times that person, that man or woman must have thought, should I go, should I not go? Should I go, should I not go? Because Indians by nature are very forgiving and they want to forgive and forget and move on. But if someone has chosen to come up to the police station and you sitting in a place of authority, if you are being abusive, you are not the one who is dealing with that person. That person versus the system is the dialogue that is going on. For him, that person, that aggrieved person, whether it be you or your inspector or the police commissioner, all are same. So if you have abused, the commissioner has abused, the inspector has abused. If you have been kind, the inspector has been kind, the commissioner has been kind, and the system has been kind. So choose your words very, very carefully. And someone who has comes to a police station, they need respect and at least they need to be heard. At times, in my own office, I have heard some people for about 15-20 minutes. Then I lose patience and say, okay, what is it that you want me to do? Then I ask, what do you want? They actually don't know what they want. They want only to be heard.
Exactly.
So they want to be heard, that's all. I say, okay, what do you want? They say, I want justice. Okay, I cannot take out justice in a pocket and give it to you. What exactly do you want? Tell me 1, 2, 3, what do you want? They have no clue. They say, I have got a lot of problems. I can't live. Okay, then what do you want me to do? Tell me what I should do. So, a lot of educated young boys and girls are joining the department. The quality of training is also improving. We have to sensitize them to respect people. So that's why in police training, the Constitution of India is taught. We, the people of India, solemnly hereby resolve to make India into ... all the way to the preamble over there. That needs to be sensitized. And other thing I also already mentioned to you in the beginning was grassroots leadership. If my grassroots leadership is strong, I can sit and do a lot of creative things over here. If my grassroots leadership is weak, I'll end up doing the work which at grassroots sitting in my office over
And
here.
even for filing an FIR, a DCP has to be
exactly.
Consulted.
For filing an FIR, they'll come and knock my doors over here. So, apart from all the plethora of laws that we have, common sense is the best law. And there has to be an attitude that sitting and wearing this uniform, I must be of use to someone over there. I must be of use. And India is a country of people, huge number of people. So people means always some problems will be there.
Right.
So we have to reach out. So continuously empowering our people and making our people learn also. So a constable can, even if he feels like helping also, I must empowering him not only by giving him an opportunity of making mistakes, but also teaching him the right way of doing things also over there. So if he knows how to handle a problem, and if he is allowed the opportunity of how to handle a problem, my work becomes clear. If I don't teach him and if I don't empower him, he is only one more body who is a source of nuisance for me over there.
Right.
So this is the way I have chosen. There could be other ways better than this also.
Right. So for those who have joined us, we are almost in the last part of this interview today. We are joined with the Bengaluru City Police Commissioner, Mr. Bhaskar Rao at this moment. If you have just joined in case you have any questions, any special suggestions, please do comment below. We will try and make sure that your suggestions reach the City Police Commissioner. If they're actionable, perhaps action will be taken. So now a rapid fire round, as we call it. Right, this is the first episode in which we have included this. Right, so I'll give you a word, and you have to respond in 1 or 2 words to that. What is it that, what thought that word evokes within you? 1, police brutalities.
Half truth, sometimes false.
Right. So police reforms.
Needed by the hour. Police reforms with grassroots police leadership.
Dream that you have for the city.
A city with full of economic activity and a lot of ethics and compassion.
That's wonderful, sir. Now, to all your officers and to all your grassroots level constabulary, which is present on the roads of Bengaluru city, that has been serving the city population at this juncture, what would your message be coming directly from their commissioner to them?
Unlimited courage with compassion. Extreme courage, but be compassionate. That's the only message.
And in the end, would you like to say anything to the people of Bengaluru at this juncture?
The people of Bengaluru are wonderful people. They have been so supportive for the last 9.5, 10 months, which I have been the Commissioner of Police here. And I am a Bengalurian. And Bangalore has always been at the forefront of innovation, intelligence, law-abiding, and may the spirit continue. And I wish Bangalore will become a little more greener, a little more distributed on the roads.
Right. Thank you very much, sir, for joining on the show today. So we had with us the City Police Commissioner, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, and you heard what he had to say. Some interesting things which we learned today about the City Police, and a lot of interesting things what the City Police has done. So this we take as an opportunity to thank all those frontline police officials right from the constable level to the commissioner for their service to the city and to the nation. Thank you very much for joining us.